I'm ready. Hey y'all, and welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
I'm Jen. What was that?
Oh, it's Raylan. We got cat situations going on.
Yeah, we have something to show y'all, actually.
Yeah. So we'll show you that. So you all just got to see us doing our little morning routine, milking a bunch of animals. So we milked all 5 goats that we have in milk, which is about to grow to 6 with Molly. And then
7.
Yeah, that's right, because the Lala is coming too. Busy mornings. But then we milked Daisy, our cow, and everything. Things are going really well there. And we decided, oh my gosh, it's been a long time since we've been in the garden, and there's a lot of stuff that's happening in there. So we want to take you all on a little walk. All right, let's start with what really looks like a mess, this kitchen garden. It is something that we've got to address here. What happened was we put weed tarp down and then mulch. Well, unfortunately, the mulch decided it was going to be like dirt and start growing a bunch of grass all over it. So it's just a bunch of stuff growing on top of the weed tarp. So it's a big project that we got to take, but that's not what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on the stuff in the beds.
So we actually did. I know everything else looks like a mess, but we did come through this weekend and clean this out. Got most of the weeds out. Took out that Thai holy basil that I hated. I don't want to grow it because I didn't like it. So we got rid of that. This is my mountain mint that's doing awesome, and we're just clipping it and drying it and having it for teas. It's really, really good.
It is. I mean, it's huge. Yeah. Mint is one of those very overly invasive herbs, but we like it. We want it here, and it's just great. Like she's doing touch.
And clip it and dry it, and keep it contained. I've got some dill that reseeded itself over here, so we're just gonna let that be. Might be some chamomile in there mixed in.
Yeah, actually, I think some chamomile
that reseeded itself. And then my lemon balm's doing really good. So we started with just that little bush right here, and now it's reseeded and expanded itself. And we love lemon balm, so we just keep that maintained as well.
Then of course our centerpiece that is in dire need of having a clipping back. It's crazy how fast comfrey grows. Like we keep telling you, you can't kill it whatsoever. Now when we do dry it, we'll make sure all these seed pods, the heads, are clipped off, and then we'll hang it just for the leaves. Benny, gonna bust you up, buddy. And then we'll cut it all the way down to the bottom, and they grow back real fast. But this is a great thing to have, and we'll show you a lot of them here in just a minute.
And then the garlic. So what was this called?
That is German white garlic from Homestead.
German white garlic. So we usually grow the elephant garlic, which is over there. So that didn't do as good as this one. So I think we're actually going to stick with the German white from now on, because I mean you can see the difference. It's crazy, and it'll be ready in July.
And we have always really enjoyed growing elephant garlic, but for whatever reason here we haven't had as good of success as we did at our previous place. So like she said, I think moving to just your normal size garlic, this is German white like she said, is definitely the route we're going to take, because that won't last us a year, but that will. All right, moving right along to our cabbage, our cauliflower, and our broccoli. Let me pull this back so you can see how big these bad boys are.
This is our favorite bed right now, because it's growing actual food that we'll be able to harvest soon, and we don't have to worry about it freezing or getting frostbite or anything. It's all very beautiful, and it's all growing. None of it's bolted, which is great because we're actually a little colder spell right now, which we'll talk about, but that's nice. So it's able to grow and not have to worry about getting too hot.
And coming soon will be this final L that we have in the kitchen garden. This is where we grew our sweet potatoes last year, and it's where we're gonna grow our sweet potatoes again this year. They did absolutely fantastic. It made a really pretty piece with all the vines hanging over. So we'll be planting those in once we're truly away from frost. I know we said it last year, but if you haven't grown sweet potatoes, definitely dedicate a bed for it. It is beautiful, it's very easy to grow, and you get some massive sweet potatoes out of them. So.
And they're so good.
Yeah, they are really good. Here's our cherry bushes that are sitting right here. We'll see. They always bloom really, really early in the year. and there's been a lot of frost, so we'll see if we get any off of it. But this will be year 3 with those. So if it was gonna get cherries, we should be able to get some this year, but we'll see. It'd be really cool. I really hope some pop up. Hi, Westy. Hi, Rusty. You just waiting for me to say hi, Westy. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy.
It's okay. He's a big boy.
So fast. You're jerking. And into our primary garden that doesn't have a lot going on. Okay. But it does have a few things that are happening. One thing we definitely need to do is get in here and start weeding. But we normally do that when we plant. We'll weed the bed. Because right now you're just weeding dirt for the most part. But let's check it out. So right here is our salad bowl mix, which I cut it back. We've been eating a lot on it, so it's not looking the greatest in the world, but it's still growing back, and we're still cutting it and eating it, and it's absolutely fantastic.
I think this is the year. I think we're actually gonna have a good pea year. These things are huge. Everyone's attached. Everyone's doing good. We might come through with a little bit of fertilizer here maybe this week. But I'm really excited, y'all. You have heard me talk about wanting to have a good pea year for years now, and I think it's actually gonna happen. We'll see. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it.
Right. And over here are our apple trees. They're all coming back and looking really pretty. It's honestly though now time to start training these. We probably should have done it last year. But see how they're all shooting straight up? For any kind of fruit trees, you want to try to train them to go out. So basically how you do that is you take some of your little string and then you'll put a stake down, and that trains that to grow out instead of growing straight up like so. So that's something that we'll be doing this year. We had 4 of them planted. This one did not come back, and to be honest with you, it's because we actually let the goats in here one time and they had quite the snack. So this one unfortunately didn't make it, but we still have 3 of them that did, and so we'll just replace this guy. But definitely the star of the show here, and we're pretty excited about having some apple trees starting to become to full size. Fruit trees and fruit bushes in general are one of those things that Jen and I wouldn't say that we don't have the patience for it, but we also don't have the patience for it. We have planted them in almost every property we have, but we've always planted them like the year before we leave.
Yeah.
So we've never actually got to enjoy the fruits of that labor and the wait. So pretty pumped about those. Definitely want to make sure that they're taken care of so we can maybe actually get some apples.
Yeah, I think it's year 3 with them too, so they're about as old as the cherry bushes.
Yeah, so we'll see. We might get a couple on there. Usually the first year that they give fruit, you want to take them off. But if there's one on there, we might let it sit.
Also, isn't it crazy that we've almost been here for 3 years?
It's nuts. Yeah, this is our 3rd growing season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Time is flying. We were only at our old property for a total like 5 years.
Yeah.
So we're approaching that. And
it's nice.
It's really wild to think. But still a lot done in 2.5 years for sure. Let's check out this greenhouse.
More coming too.
Yeah, a lot more coming. So I'm not just showing you a bed full of weeds. This was our flower area last year, and I'm trying to remember which one this is. We'll have to do a little plant identifier, and I planted some in there. But this is either going to be that echinacea double-decker, or it's going to be the hollyhock that came back from the previous year, which I'm really excited about because both of those are pretty tough to grow first time. I think echinacea is a 2-year plant anyways, isn't it? Yeah. So that would be good if it is echinacea. We'd really be happy about that, but we do have a bunch started in the greenhouse too. All right, into where most of our greenery is, the greenhouse, and there is a bunch of it. Breakfast. That is Jen's chocolate mint. I moved it in here because we got a little cold there for a while, and even though I know it'd probably be fine, it's movable.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's already doing really well, so no reason to start over.
Yeah.
I love it every day. My favorite.
And over here we have a bunch of comfrey starts, which if y'all come to our store and you want comfrey, we're gonna have plenty of it because we got a bunch right there, a bunch of individual pots, and then there is a bunch down here. 3 different trays full of comfrey starts. I'm telling you, all you need is that. That's what we started with, and you will have a bunch of comfrey. And because a lot of people ask, it's become a more popular question that people are reaching out to us and asking that this is true comfrey.
Yes.
That's what we started. That's what we have. It's all true comfrey. That's the variation. Yeah. Okay. So just FYI there. And so here's some new stuff we just started. So y'all know I love Mexican sunflowers, and I only had a few seeds left, and so far only 2 have germinated. So I'm going to baby the fire out of them things to make sure that they grow big and lush and I can save some seeds. Everything else in here is zinnias. because y'all know I love Zach's zinnias. And so there's a bunch of them. We'll make sure we get them scattered all over the place. Then other stuff we have germinating here, we got some squash, zucchini, cucumbers, some okra going, some marigolds, because we like to plant those with our tomatoes. We have some snapdragons here, but nothing's germinated just yet. More cucumbers, some rattlesnake watermelon, butternut squash, and then somebody had sent us this grizzly bear pumpkin. I have no idea what it is, but I'm pretty excited to try it. So let's talk about that stuff kind of in the squash family. I say squash family, but I'm even including like watermelons, different kind of melons and stuff like that. These things germinate really quick, and they germinate really well. And honestly, you can just direct sow them. It's her favorite. It's what she likes to do.
It drives me nuts when he starts.
But we blend it a little bit, and my only reason I like to start things is because my spacing is perfect when I go to plant them out in the garden. I know exactly how I want to do it. When I do seeds, it's a mentality thing for me. I'm always going to overplant, and then honestly I'm wasting seeds, because we're having to go back and then pluck them out. But I don't know, it's a mind thing for me. She likes direct sowing, I like transplanting, but you can do it either way you want to. Where I'm heading at is, if you are wanting to start them, only start them like 3 weeks before you're going to put them in the ground. You're just trying to get them up. That way you know where to put them, because they do germinate very fast. Well, I think we just figured out what our plant was. Raylan planted these, and these are little hollyhock flowers, and that looks a lot like a miniature version of what's outside. So I'm going to say that they're hollyhocks out there. These are some of the peppers that didn't die. And look at that, y'all. One jigsaw. One little fella. These are the ones that all died when my heater went out, and some of them survived. So these should be really, really nice, strong peppers.
Okay, I was going to show y'all this because I don't know if we've shown it before, and unfortunately nothing happened. Maybe it's just dormant, I don't know, but we found a coconut seed on the beach in Mexico when we went to Mexico. So we brought it home to Raylan, and she planted it. You can see her little writing. I don't know, maybe if anybody knows anything, she would just be absolutely tickled if something happened. So give us some advice.
I mean, I'm definitely not going to take it out. I'm just going to keep watering it. We'll see what happens. And here's quite a few tomatoes that we have going on. So these are the new ones we started after I killed all the other ones. So they're all looking good. Honest to God, we like this size tomato plant. We don't like the huge ones because of transplant shock. The bigger your plant is, when you have to go put it in the ground, the more transplant shock it's going to have. Don't let anybody tell you differently. They're going to tell you differently, but I'm serious. So these smaller size tomatoes, if you put that out there with, say, a large tomato, I guarantee it's going to catch up to it, because it's going to have less shock when it hits that ground, and then it's just going to catch up to them. So that's about the size that we like. They're nice, good stalks in them, and they're tall enough to where we can bury them a little bit deeper. But, you know, things are kind of working out. If we had all those other tomatoes that died, they've been huge. So, you know, it's working out well on the size, and I'm very happy with how they all look.
So this is a mess because everything needs to come out of these cups. But we've got all kinds of things in here, some herbs, some dill, some cilantro, some thyme, some chamomile, nasturtiums that don't look very good, and some basil.
Well, everything in this tray also survived the freeze. Yeah. So they don't look the hottest, but you know, they're strong plants. And they're starting to get a little bit purple because they need to get out into the yard, into the dirt, but we're getting close. Then more tomatoes here that are looking all good. These are some of those tomatoes that try to survive. I don't think we'll plant them. These are the ones that went through the freeze as well. They're not looking the hottest, and we have all these other beautiful ones, so they're a little crispy.
Here's proof that we actually can grow nasturtiums, because these look good. They didn't get hit with the freeze, so these are good. And then our loofahs, some swan gourds.
Yeah, I'm excited to try those out this year.
Yeah.
And then right over here, a couple ground cherries, which are the garden candy. They're absolutely delicious. Two's all you need. Seriously.
And we have to keep them away from the chickens.
Yeah.
I don't know where we'll put them.
We'll have to put them in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Can't, because last time we put them out there and they just had a heyday.
Love them.
Yeah. We had volunteer ground cherries everywhere. Absolutely everywhere, because all the chickens and birds would eat them and they'd poop them out all over the place. It was just ground cherries galore. But they are that good. If you've never grown them, they grow like a...
Tomatillo.
Thank you. Much smaller, very small, but they have that shell wrapping around them. And then those, they're called ground cherries because you wait for them to drop off the plant. And then that's when they're ripe and ready to go. Peel them back, and
they're so good. So
good. One of our great friends, Mark, that had passed away a few years ago, he would always make ground cherry jelly, and it is good. Yeah. It is absolutely good. So if it's something that you've never grown, definitely give it a try. I promise it'll be in your garden from there on after. All right, so short tour. so far, but it's about to get really big. So we're in zone 6B. But again, when you're talking about last frost, you want to go more about your zip code, not your zone, because we all have different last frost dates. So our rule of thumb is Mother's Day. We've been trending the right way though. I would say we're probably safe to go ahead and start now.
I think we could.
Yeah.
I mean, we've looked at our 2-week forecast and we're safe. So we could. I don't know if we will. We only have 1 more week.
Right.
So might as well just wait.
Yeah.
And be safe.
Exactly. And we are currently in Blackberry winter.
Yes.
So if you've never heard of this, when things bloom around our area, they'll call it whatever that plant is, winter. So like we have dogwood winter, we have blackberry winter, strawberry winter. And so basically what that means is when they're blooming, you get a little cold snap. Now it doesn't mean you're gonna get down to frost temperatures, but like today, I think our high is 60 and our lows are gonna be low 40s, which is lower than usual. It's because the blackberries are blooming. So I think we're just gonna wait till we can get out of blackberry winter. That should be, I think, about the last one. And then we'll be good to go, at least for the most part. What are you doing, Mickey? What are you doing? Where'd you go? Get off my shirt. Okay, all right. Stop. Chill out, teacher. Got his massive stick. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. So we have a big week ahead of us, a lot of things going on, and it's Derby week. So here in Kentucky, that's a big week. It's a lot of fun. Horse racing. We have a blast doing it. So that starts Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we're trying to cram everything in so we can like cancel all plans for a good, fun weekend.
We've got a lot coming. We're really excited about it. We're just making phone calls and working things out, but big things are coming.
Big things are coming. They're always coming around here, it seems like. All right, y'all, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button for us.
We love y'all.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.